Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Get Well with Kel. Today, I have a special guest with me here. We're actually recording this on video, so it may or may not get posted this way. But my special guest is Judith. And I would like everybody to really welcome her in. She's someone that I've known for many years, and I'm so excited to have her on the podcast. So, welcome, Judith.
Hi everyone. I'm so excited to be here.
We are happy to have you here, sis. Trust and believe. We are so excited. For the list,
I've been waiting to get on this channel.
I know, right? We've been talking about this for months, and it's I'm the problem. It's not you. It's me. Oh my gosh. So for background, the person we have in common is my cousin Jessica. My cousin Jessica has been, best friends with Judith for I don't know how many years, like maybe like 12, 15, even more.
It's close to 15 years now. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's a long time. And
Yeah.
so yeah, yeah. So tell me a little bit more about yourself and so that our audience can know who you are.
So I'm Judith. I also have a YouTube channel called Judi Love, and I just kind of love doing everything like interior design, and just talking about like life content stuff. So I'm all about talking about like your 20s and just living life and being happy and being free, and that's just who I am and how I vibe.
I love that. I love that. It was so funny cuz you said in your 20s and I was like, we just did an episode about that. You and I were both talking about it, but we can talk 20s here today. So it's totally fine. I'm down if you're down.
Yeah, I'm down.
So tell us a little bit more about your YouTube channel. So how did that start? Like what made you take that initiative?
Oh my gosh, it's been a year in the making, right? I actually used to do YouTube channels or YouTube videos when I was younger. And I would make like those stupid um like videos and post them online. And then one day I started like doing stuff to my room when I was younger, or I'll like switch out like my bed sheets and like decorate and stuff like that and record it and put it on YouTube. But then when I got to high school, I was like, this is lame. So I deleted all those videos, which I'm now regretting. I should have kept them up. But after college, I really started to toy with that idea of going back on YouTube, and it took me maybe like 2 or 3 years, but I decided, you know what? I moved into this new house, started doing all these creative things to it, and I was like, "You know what? Why am I not recording this stuff and putting it on the internet? Other people do it, and I want people to see all the creations that I've made." So that ultimately led, well, that and other people pushed me to
Yeah.
make my YouTube channel.
Well, I have to tell you, I'm glad you did it because I remember when you were moving in, I was FaceTiming with Jessica and you guys were, I think, like remodeling how your fireplace looked like. And I was like,
Mhm.
oh, I need that in my life. I was like, wow, like, cause it looks so nice. And you're right.
Yeah,
You are creative. You know what you're doing, and people need to see it. Like, thank you.
exactly.
Thank you. On behalf of all of us that can't remodel, we will remodel through you, sis. So thank you.
And it's so crazy because that fireplace was like the first thing that we did like 3 days after we moved in. I was like, "We have to paint
Mhm,
this week.
mhm.
I need to see it black." And we went to Home Depot, got the supplies and everything. It was the first time I've ever painted a wall. So I
Wow.
was kind of nervous. I was like, I might be making a huge mistake. But we got the paint up and I was like, oh my gosh, this was probably the best thing that I could have thought of, and just started doing the rest of all that creativity stuff around the house.
I mean, it's good, right? You went with black, so I don't think you can go wrong with that color.
Right.
But speaking about black, like I feel like a lot of people are afraid to use black because I've been seeing some of the trends. It's a lot of um like nudes and like whites, and I'm like, guys, put some black in there. I don't know about you, but I my dream is to have an all black kitchen. Like I want to have cabinets that are all black. I would like my
Mhm.
countertop to either be like, I don't know, like a white or an off white, but that's my dream. Like an all black kitchen.
That's beautiful.
Right? That would be so
Yeah.
awesome. Except the fingerprints of my kids on the cabinets. I'm not here for that.
That can be a lot. I don't have kids, but I have cats, and they just love to touch everything, and it yeah.
Okay, so tell me, okay, so the first project was the fireplace. And then what did you move on
Mhm.
to next after that?
Oh my god, what did I move on to? Okay, so we did the downstairs foyer, and I did like this, or I had this idea from Pinterest to do this kind of like stripe on the wall.
Mm,
And our foyer is kind of long, so I wanted something to really elongate the room, and we put tape on the wall to like kind of hide or make like that staggering effect of the lines,
okay.
so that when you painted within it and you like peel the tape off, it has that like really long effect with like white and black in
Mm.
between. So I did that, and then that same day we painted our dining room, and we did kind of like a diagonal triangle on that wall. So both of those walls have that hint of black as well.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like how you said you wanted to elongate, right? To really work with what you have. Because I feel like a lot of
Mhm.
times, so like I have a house as well, and like there's areas that are small, and I'm like, how do I make it larger? How do I, on the larger rooms, make it feel smaller? So I feel like playing
Right.
on the like spaces and the sizing is really fun. Do you like doing that
Mhm.
a lot?
I do. I really do. Sometimes it gets frustrating because like you can have this idea and looked good in your head,
Hmm.
but then when you put it on paper, it's like, okay, this actually doesn't look right. So a lot of the things that I do, I get nervous about it. I'm like, it's not gonna look right. But then I'm like, the worst that can happen is I just paint over it again. So so I try it anyways, and I'm like, if I hate it, whatever.
Yeah,
But it ends up working out.
that's good. I mean, like, you're right. Why not just paint over it, right? Just start from scratch.
Right.
That's good. Oh my goodness. Okay,
Yeah.
so tell me, what is the one project that you haven't gotten started on, but that you can't get out of your head?
Ah, there's so many.
Okay.
There are so many. The first one is the basement room. We were supposed to start on that last year, but life happened and we just didn't get to it. But I'm really excited to paint that room and kind of get it together and be able to utilize that space, because I feel like right now it's like storage for us and there's just like bins everywhere. So I would really love to do that. And we were thinking of making that kind of like a rec room or like slash movie room,
Fun.
so we can entertain in there and not always have to entertain in our living room space. And the other project that I'm looking forward to, but I'm also scared about, is so next to our fireplace, we have some Billy bookcase cases next to it to kind of look like a media console
Yeah.
thing. So what we need to do is actually take the bookcases and use like wood trim to make it look like it's a feature that's on the wall. um and that takes a lot of like woodworking, using my power tools a lot more, which is like kind of intimidating. So but I'm looking forward to that, looking forward to challenging myself to do that.
That's awesome. I cheers to you, sis. I could never. I am so afraid of a power tool. Even though I consider myself the at-home electrician, I change all of the
Yeah,
light bulbs, all of the light fixtures, and I have a funny story to tell
and that's
you.
still good though.
It is, but like I'm insane. So, Judith, there was a day I ordered this like chandelier from Wayfair. I waited all week. I was so excited to see it come through. It came in at like 9 p.m. And the excited
Mhm.
girl in me was like, I can put it up at 9 p.m. I lie to you not. Lucas was like, "You must be out of your mind. How are we gonna see? I have to turn off the lights so that you can." switch things around. I'm like, I can do it. I can do it. I'm excited. I can do this. And then it just didn't work out. Like we got into a really bad argument. It did not work out at all. But like I get it. The
You
excitement
should
to
have
just
those, like, flashlights.
I was using the iPhone flashlight. I was like "Point it
Oh
this
my
way,
gosh.
Lucas, because there's a shadow and I can't see one of the one of the wires." He was like, "You need to stop. Go to sleep. Go to sleep."
That's
Oh my
hilarious.
goodness, but I get it. Like, just like being excited about working on something, and to your point about the power tools, it is intimidating, right? The more you get used to using it, the better you are, right?
Yeah, and I've used it so far. So I did start my first woodworking project. In my foyer, I used IKEA shoe cabinets, and I used like plywood to like kind of look like the shoe cabinet is part of the wall.
Mm.
And I like stained the wood top and everything like that. It looks really nice. I'll probably show it to you after the call.
Yes, please.
Um, and I used my circular saw for the first time, trying to like cut the pieces of wood, and I used like a caulk gun and every like nailing it to the thing. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that was a very frustrating project. I did it for 2 weeks.
Mhm.
I almost cried because like I couldn't cut the wood correctly because it couldn't fit to like the side of the shoe cabinets to like connect them together. And I was just like, I almost gave up. I almost was like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. And my husband Ryan, he was just like, no, like just keep going. Like you're gonna mess up, but like just keep trying. So
Oh.
he definitely helped me finish that project.
Cheers to Ryan. Ryan's the best. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Because that's always great to have someone on your team and on your side to just
Yeah.
cheer you to go, keep going. And my gosh, when you said circular saw, girl, no, I
You
can't.
oh my gosh, my tool collection is crazy so far.
Ooh,
Like for a beginner, I have a lot of stuff. And actually Ryan bought me all my power tools. He bought my circular saw, my power drill. I have a multi-tool that he just got for me for Christmas. Um I have sanders. Like I have the whole nine, like the whole set and everything like that.
I love how
All I need is like
I was just gonna say, I love how you said he got you that for Christmas. Like some girls are like, "Oh, I want like diamonds," or "I want a I don't even know how to say the bag or the guy, like a tell I don't know how to say that.
Telfar.
Yeah, I was watching Abbott Elementary and I thought about that. We could go into that
I love
episode
that
later.
show.
I was like, oh, some girls want that, but you're like, no, boo, I want my power tool,
I
please and
want power
thank
tools.
you.
And it's so funny because when he was at the store, they were like asking him questions about like what he wanted and blah blah blah. And he's like, "Oh no, this is for my wife." And they're like, "Wait, what?" they're like, "They're like, you have an awesome wife, dude."
Come again? Excuse me, this is for who?
Yeah. So funny story. I was actually in Home Depot looking for a brat nailer because I that's the one power tool that I really need to like start getting into the woodworking. So I'm in the aisle, I'm looking at it, and this guy comes up to me and he's like, "That's you?" And I was like, "Huh?" And he was like, "You know these, like you use this stuff like on a daily, da da da." And I was like, "I mean, I'm learning, like I'm trying to get this Brad nailer or whatever." And he's like, "Wow, that's neat. That's neat." And I was just cracking up in the aisle, like, why is this random man talking to me? Like, where's my husband?
First of all, who are you? Second,
Yeah,
why are you
who are
talking to
you?
me? Okay, so it is you. You're that girl, okay? And you know where you're
Yeah.
going with it. That's good because
Right.
sometimes those guys try to play us when we go to Home Depot. At least me, 'cause I'm naive. I don't know about anything, and they'll try to get you the most expensive thing, and you're like, "Oh, I guess this will work. I don't know." But then
Yeah.
the more you're familiarized with it, the better decisions you can make. So good for you, girl. Okay, so that's the one tool that you needed, and it's gonna help you. Um,
Mhm.
okay, so have you ever considered doing projects outside of your home? Have people asked you to like help, I don't know, like create a playroom or fix a living room?
So I started, I wouldn't say I did the project for them, but I helped them design the room. One of my other best friends, childhood best friend, was needing a closet system, and they
Hmm.
didn't kind of know what direction they were trying to go through and how to set up the space. So I actually created a design plan for them on Canva. And then I found pieces and items that they could add to their closet. So I like took all the pictures of the pieces, put it on their like Canva design map or whatever, and then showed them the plan of what I thought would be best for that space.
Hmm.
And it was really hard because they had a very tight budget. So trying to find a closet system for their budget, I was like about to pull my hair out, but we were able to find something and they set up the space, put up the light fixture, put up the rug, and put up the closet system, and it looks beautiful.
Wow, congratulations. You
Thank
did it within
you.
budget.
I did. I actually
Wow.
went under budget.
Okay. Win. Cha-ching.
Yeah.
They're
I was
saving it for
saving
their next
coins.
project. That's awesome.
Right.
That's so good. Okay, so in having to search for things on a budget, right? What would be your go-to stores or online stores
Wow.
for designing on a budget?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. So I love to utilize, so before I even go to stores, I go on like secondhand, like Facebook Marketplace,
Hmm.
whatever, those like neighborhood selling like groups or like Facebook groups that are like the buy my old stuff or whatever. I don't know what the name of those groups are, but
Yeah.
I tend to check those spaces first because you can find really good pieces for like $10, $20. There are some people that will like charge more for their item, and I'm like, I can get this for cheap at the store. Like this is
Hmm.
crazy.
Hmm.
But you can really find some good things on there first. And then after I check there, I will go to thrift stores. I love thrifting for like furniture and kind of updating them or stuff like that. And then I would go to IKEA. I think a lot of people sleep on IKEA. That store has like so many things that you can find on a budget, and it looks amazing and it will last you a long time.
It will. It really
Hmm.
will. Like, I don't, let me clear my throat because I just got a little emotional when you said the word IKEA. I have been a fan of IKEA since I think I remember the very first time I went there at, what was it? Potomac Mills in Virginia. That was like when I was a
Yeah.
kid, that was the closest IKEA to us in Maryland. And oh my God, I remember walking in and I was like, wow, this is so beautiful. And like, when I, side note, when I would get into arguments with my husband and I would need like space, where
Uh-huh.
would I go?
IKEA.
IKEA. IKEA. But to your point
I
about like finding things, there's a lot of great things that you can find there that do last you a very long time. But I also
Yeah.
think the way you take care of it afterwards will determine like
Mhm.
whether or not it's going to last. Like for example, my entire dining room set, and I can send you a picture of it, is from IKEA. And I have
Mhm.
people come here and they're like, "Oh, is this from like Crate and Barrel?" I'm like, "No, sis, we're not
IKEA.
there yet. It's IKEA, okay? We're
Like
not there."
it's so funny because when we first moved in here, like I was taking multiple trips to the neighboring IKEA. So I have IKEA like 10 minutes from me. And
Mhm.
that's bad because I'm always there. Um, and I would literally go in there, buy things, and then the next day I will do like an online order and then go pick my item up and then go spend more money inside the store. Like I was crazy. And like I'm pretty sure the IKEA workers are like, this girl is back again. Cause I was going like every day to like look at stuff. And literally everything in my house, I would say 90% of the things in my house are from IKEA.
Yeah, yeah. Same. Same here. Um, like everything, most of our things, especially for our kids, like for example, their dresser, the beds, like everything is IKEA. I
Hmm.
really like their system of keeping things minimal. Like there's rooms that like they create that really coincide with like the American view where more is more better, but then they show like
Yeah.
the minimalistic side of things, and I feel like that is what I want to tap into because I don't know
Yeah.
about you, like I just feel like I don't need all of that. Like I don't need like three dressers. I don't need five mirrors, you know, like in a room. Like I just need what I need and that's it. But it
Yeah.
needs to look
And
good.
I definitely think that really stems from like growing up and having like semi hoarder parents
Yes.
where they just like buy stuff and keep it in the house. And I'm like, what are you going to do with this? They're like, I'm going to send it back to your cousins back
Right,
home.
right.
And
It's
it
going
never
in a
gets sent
box.
home. And it just goes into this box. And then the boxes start piling and piling. So I think just growing up in a space where like there was just so much stuff and like the decor was so like crazy to the eye. There were so many colors
Mhm.
that as I grew up, I really wanted to have like a more minimalist space, but still have like my pops of color like throughout the house and stuff like that. So I think that's where it comes from.
Yeah, no, I feel you, girl. I feel you. Like my mom, Cecilia, we love you. We're not shading you at all. But she was kind of like that one person. Like if there was a yard sale, she'd be the first one to stop, and then she'd want to look at everything, and then she'd start collecting, and like it would eventually add up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, no shade to her, she has a great sense of style. My mom is like very mid-century modern. That is like
Mhm.
her range. She likes to work with that. But like growing up, we had chairs that didn't match with one another and they were all around the dining room table. Or like the pillows were from like Pier 1 three
Yeah.
seasons ago, but we're still wearing them. We're still using them because they look
Yeah.
good. You know what I mean? So it was like that was really the vibe in the Rosa household.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like I'm totally with you. And oh man, like I don't want to be that hoarder. Like even if you look at my living room now, the max that you'll see is just toys. But like
Yeah.
it's two chairs, one sofa, dining room set, that's it. Like I don't need more than that. I really don't.
Yeah. And honestly, yeah, that's basically my space too. I mean like I have a lot of books in the bookcases and stuff like that, but I'd like to keep everything just kind of neat and we actually do purge our stuff like every season. So if we feel
Oh,
that too many things are starting to pile up in the house and that happens, or like if we're like hoarding too many clothes or we're like, okay, we haven't worn these in like a year.
yeah.
Like we need to either donate it, give it to someone or because we're not using it. So we will look at what we have and if we're like, okay, we're not using this, we haven't used it, we just purge it and donate it to like Habitat or like Goodwill or something like
Hmm.
that. But and it's so like freeing just getting rid of that stuff. Like you just feel like this weight lifted off your shoulder and I'm like, wow, like
Yeah,
it's so much emptier in here.
it is. And like sometimes that's what we need. It's like a refresh. And I don't know about you, but like even on a like not I wouldn't say like on a quarterly basis, but like maybe half the mid year, I'll like
Yeah.
switch the way the furniture looks like just so I can feel like I'm walking into a new space
Hmm.
because it helps me like with my chaotic mind. It helps me kind of recenter and focus. So, and then okay, so you said donating to like Habitat for Humanity and then Goodwill. So here in Massachusetts, we have the Boys and Girls Club. They'll come to your house
Hmm.
and pick up all of like everything that you have, including
Oh
light
wow.
fixtures, um, furniture, toys, all of that. Because I tried to take my light fixtures, like the old light fixtures that came with the house, to
Hmm.
like a Savers, which is like Goodwill, and
Hmm.
they didn't take it in. Not everywhere
Yeah,
accepts it.
a lot of places are not taking light fixtures anymore or like we had this ceiling fan when we first moved in that I needed to get rid of it. Like that first week we took it down. We called Ryan's uncle and he came and took down the ceiling
Yeah.
fan and put up a light fixture for us. And I tried to donate that to Habitat, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't take these anymore." And then I tried Goodwill. Goodwill didn't take it, and I was like, "I don't want to throw this ceiling fan out because I know someone's gonna need it."
Yeah.
And it was a working ceiling fan. It just didn't match my taste or my style. So I finally found this one place. It's like a thrift store down the street from us. It's like a mom and pop thrift store, and they took the ceiling fan, and I was like, awesome.
That's good. Yeah, like when you
Yeah.
find some place that will take it in, that's amazing. Um, oh, fun hack. So you spoke about like Facebook Marketplace and like how
Yeah.
they have tons of great things. So my in-laws, they wanted, sorry, it's the morning time, people. I'm still waking up. So my in-laws wanted to do a patio and they needed the bricks. Some person was giving away, not even selling. They were giving away the bricks. They were able to make such a beautiful patio that like
Mm-hmm.
it fit like an outdoor table, including like their their grill, everything, and like even were able to make a pathway. Like it looked so nice. People sleep on Facebook Marketplace, but there are some like
Look.
scammers there too, you know.
Mm-hmm. I definitely think that when you shop online, you definitely have to be careful because there are a lot of scammers, all over the place. And I also feel like just shopping on those secondhand websites, you have to have like dedication to finding these things because like it's not always going to pop up on like the first page or whatever. Like you have to spend hours searching for these things or like joining the like buy nothing groups on Facebook and like waiting to see when certain items that you're looking for are there. And sometimes when you're just browsing and you're not really searching for a specific thing, whatever you were looking for in the past will pop up like randomly. And it's crazy. But like there are some people that will like say, yeah, like I can buy this on like pay or I'll pay you on PayPal, and that's when you know, okay, you're kind of scamming me. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. Not with PayPal. I mean, well, I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. PayPal is great. It's
no,
just
no, they
fine.
are. It's so crazy they are, and but the thing is, it's like a lot of people use it to like scam people, and that it's like the easiest way to like get your money back. Like they have like a really good money return policy or something like that, so people use that. And I was actually trying to sell my camera on Facebook Marketplace, and then because it was such a high amount, like Facebook wouldn't let me ship it out. And this one guy was like, yeah, no, like ship it to me and I'll pay you on PayPal for this camera. And I'm like, all right, no. I was like, no, you're scamming me.
Right, right.
And I
Oh
took the post down.
my. Here's a website that I haven't shopped on in a long time. eBay. Do you look for items on eBay?
So I'm not an avid eBay shopper only because I don't know how to navigate through the site sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I feel like their site is not as user friendly, but Ryan uses eBay religiously to like find his like gaming stuff because they tend to sell like, those like gaming cards. He's like a big collector and stuff like that. But
Okay.
I just I can't get around eBay. Like no shade to eBay. I
Yeah.
maybe I might work with them one day. You never know. But
Yeah.
I definitely think if I learn how to use the site, I would get stuff from there more often.
Yeah. Same. I remember I was trying to sell a dress on eBay. Someone wanted to buy it, but I didn't understand like how the shipping worked.
Yeah.
So they just gave up. They never wanted the dress anymore. They canceled their order. Oh my. Okay, so I know you spoke about some of the content that you have posted on your channel, but what is next? Like, what's the sort of content that your viewers can expect in the next coming months to year?
Yeah, so a lot more like home renovation projects, mini projects, not anything too grand. Like I'm not knocking down any walls or anything, but
Mm-hmm.
I definitely want to showcase more of like my woodworking skills and work on that a little bit more. And my channel is not just home decor, right? So I also have like a lifestyle channel, just kind of being vulnerable online and helping other people that might have like the same things that I'm going through kind of thing, and just kind of showcasing what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. Like I've also started a wedding series, so people will be seeing that on the channel as well, of like planning my wedding and everything like that. That's been a journey.
Yeah.
Um, but I've definitely started that, and just sharing that with everyone, and you know, giving them kind of like a storyline into my life kind of thing, and like, hey, I'm normal. And one thing about me with my YouTube channel is I really try to just be authentically myself. Like I don't get on camera and like put makeup on, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but I definitely want to show people like this is how I am on a day-to-day basis. Like this is what you're getting. You're not getting, I'm not going to like do my hair for the channel. I'm not going to like wear fancy dresses. Like I'm going to
Yeah.
come online as I am, and you're just going to get me and me only.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I like what you said about representing who you are and
Hmm.
what you go through. I think that that's the most important thing. We're given this platform and we have to use it wisely, right? Like we
Right.
don't want to be inauthentic, and I think that that's going to give you the viewership that you need, because people are going to notice that, like, okay, Judith isn't just out here giving me advice on how to remodel, but she might be giving me advice that I need, like words of wisdom to help me get through the week or through my wedding planning,
Hmm.
phase of life. Like all of this is what helps people. And I think that it speaks volumes about who you are. And I'm excited for people to tap into that and see what it's like, because it's a beautiful thing. Um,
Yeah.
and I'm with you. Like I don't want people to think that like I'm just doing the podcast just to do it. Like I was very clear at the beginning. I'm suffering through postpartum depression. I need an
Mhm.
outlet to kind of release and to talk about whatever I feel like talking about. And this is it. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not out here like, first of all, I have zero makeup on. My eyebrows need to get done. And my hair. Let's not talk about this, because what's happening is like
Yeah.
I am growing out my edges because my little girl took them away. So, you know what I mean?
Oh
Like,
god.
it's just
That's
like,
like my fear. That's my fear. I'm like, dang, when I have kids, like I don't want my edges to fall out. And I've seen a
oh,
lot of women like have their edges fall out, and I'm like, oh my god, like I might be bald headed, but it's okay.
it's just for
It'll
like,
grow back.
yeah, it's just for like 9 months and then it'll
Yeah,
grow
just nine
back.
months.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So let's talk about fun things. So what is like your new hobby? What are you watching? What are you reading? What's up?
Oh my gosh, Abbott Elementary. That's been like my go-to show. I talk about it all the time. We tune in every Thursday. Like that show is
Yeah.
like I love The Office, and I love like Parks and Rec because they have that kind of
Same.
like that, I don't know how you call it, like interview type show. There's like
Yeah.
a name for it, but I don't know what the name is for that. And Abbott Elementary, I feel like is super funny, and living with people who worked in the school system. They
Mhm.
worked for PG County. So
Mhm.
like it's just so funny seeing them like relate to a lot of things that go on into the show. And I've worked in the school system a little bit myself, so it's just funny, like because a lot of it is truthful, like it's real,
Yeah.
that does happen in school systems sometimes. And it's just, I just love it, and I love the representation. I love the show. I just love it.
Me too. I love how the people on the show are not afraid to get real. Like I just love that part about it. And I
Hmm.
also like how it is representative of like what we look like, and like
Hmm.
the thoughts and minds of like the kids nowadays. Funny story. I was watching Abbott Elementary on Thursday night, and guess who was fixed watching it with me? Mia. Mia sat down on the floor. She was holding on to like her little teddy bear, whatever that she has, and she was like
Hmm.
hooked. She was hooked. I was like, okay, now you have something you can watch with mom, and that mom feels is
Yeah.
appropriate for you to watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
And that's
it's.
another thing about the show. It's family friendly. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can watch it with your kids without feeling like something crazy is going to happen and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So that's really good.
Yeah, and I like how the people that are on the show are like people we grew up watching. So, for example, like, um, uh, I don't remember Barb much on a lot of things, but like Greg, Everybody Hates Chris,
Hmm.
and then oh, forgot
I
her name,
remember Barb from
Melissa.
Moesha.
Oh, she was on Moesha. You're right.
Yeah, she was Moesha's stepmom.
You're right. I keep
Hmm.
remembering Melissa was the housekeeper on Parent
Yep.
Trap.
Parent Trap. Hmm.
Yeah.
And did you? I don't know if this is a spoiler alert. Anyone who hasn't watched this episode, like, don't listen. Like,
Yeah,
just
pause or speed
wait
up.
until pause or something. But they're the one episode where they had Melissa wearing like it's like what are they, the plaid shirts, the
Mm-hmm.
tunics or whatever. They had her dressed exactly how she was dressed in the Parent Trap, and I was like, they did that on purpose. Like they knew their audience and they did that on purpose. I
Yeah,
loved it.
I love it. I really think it's funny, and I feel like I always say her name wrong. The producer.
Quinta.
Yes, I liked her on BuzzFeed back in the day. Not oh, he
Oh
got
Lord.
money.
Oh, he
Not
got
the
money.
right. Not that one, but like the other ones that she would do for them.
Hmm.
Like I think it was like her in Egypt when she was just like doing that. I don't know if you remember that one meme. So like I remember seeing her and it never in a million years thought I would see her in this light and in this role, but she was meant for it. She does such a great job.
Hmm.
Like it's a great show. It's highly recommended. Abbott Elementary, that's where it's at.
And you know what? You know what's so great though about that, and it's kind of like a life learning thing where Quinta went to BuzzFeed, and it's so funny how she even got a job at BuzzFeed. Like it was, I like remember watching her story, but I don't remember the details. But
Yeah.
the fact that she left like a very well known like company or whatever, and now leaving that company brought her bigger things. You know what I mean? And that's like something you could take in your own life where like if you're feeling stuck at one place, like maybe leaving is the best option to kind of go for your dreams. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah, yeah. It's stepping out on faith, right? Like we need
Hmm.
that. We have to do that. You're right. Dang. Hmm.
I just got deep.
Yeah. Oh, just. Girl, we dove in it.
Real life stuff.
No, but oh my gosh, no. But seriously, like I like the topics that they discuss, like that one episode, the public school versus a charter school, like what one
Oh.
has, what the other one doesn't have. That really pissed me off. That really pissed me off because I was like,
Hmm.
where are all my tax money going to? It should be going to these
Yeah.
schools. And these kids shouldn't have like their paint chipping off the walls. They shouldn't have like one bathroom that's working. You know what I mean? Like all these things are actually things that happen in
Yeah.
public school systems where maybe there's less funding in certain neighborhoods
Hmm.
versus others. So I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
And I think one of the biggest, I can actually use my own county that I grew up in Moco. And so a lot of people have this like perception that Montgomery County is like, because it's the richest county in
Mm,
Maryland or something like that. Um, all the schools in that county has great funding and, has it all.
right.
But what people don't know is like even in Montgomery County, there are schools in certain neighborhoods that don't have it all. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like some of the stuff is like the stuff you see on Abbott Elementary and a lot of things that a lot of inner city schools experience. And, there's always that misconception that MoCo doesn't have those issues, but like a
Yeah.
lot of those public schools in there, they really do.
Yeah, they do. And because, girl, when you said Moco, I was like, I get it. Growing up in Moco, I mean, we experienced it firsthand,
Yeah.
right? So I would say, so I lived in one side of Moco, and then I went up to the rural part that like is now an outlet area. Who would have thought? It was a bunch of
Yeah.
corn and soy fields when I was growing up. I don't even know what
Oh
the
my
heck is going
gosh.
on. Um, so yeah, so for me, like growing up, when when my family and we weren't doing so well, like the school system was very similar to what we see in Abbott Elementary. And then as,
Mhm.
things started getting a little better, I started seeing a few changes. But that didn't mean that like that school system that I started out with changed. It kind of remained the same. It was like stagnant. So you're right to
Mhm.
the point of like not every county has schools that, you know, are
Yeah.
perfect and pristine and looks
Yeah.
great,
Just kind of putting a band-aid on it, or like covering it in with lipstick, and just saying
Hmm.
like, yeah, we're fantastic, but it's like not every school in the county is fantastic. And but
Yeah.
I'm glad that, a lot of that is being like kind of emulated in Abbott Elementary to show people like public schools aren't what it seems sometimes, and
Yeah.
a lot of things do get covered up.
Oh my gosh. Yes. A lot of things do get covered up. But what I really do enjoy is the kids and their reactions to like the
Yes.
things when they're saying, who's that one girl that was Melissa's aide? She was like, body, yada, 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 yada,
Oh.
yada, legs, bones, something.
I forgot her name, but I just saw her on another
Emily?
commercial.
Is it
Ah,
Emily?
I don't I'm so bad with remembering names.
Me too. Me too. But she
Oh
was
my
so
god.
funny. The kids, she
Yeah.
stole the show. I was like, yes. Oh my goodness. Okay. So Abbott Elementary. What else are you watching?
Oh my gosh. I'm so bad at like watching TV. I'll be really honest with you. So me and my friend, we do watch The Crown every Monday.
Hmm.
She got me into that because I'm not really like a royalist, or like I don't really care about like the royal people's lives and
Hmm.
stuff like that. But she had me watch the show with her because she said it was interesting. I saw the first episode and I was like, you know what? I want to know more. Like this is I want to know about this. So we started watching The Crown every Monday, and now we're like on season 5 or like season 4, and that show is crazy.
Yeah. It's insane what they will do to uphold their reputation and what sacrifices have to be done to
Yeah,
do
and
that.
I'm like, and me getting like, I get too into shows. Like when I watch something, I will like research, like, did this actually happen?
Hmm.
Is this true? Like,
Same.
so I will like watch an episode, and then after the episode, we're like sitting on the phone, like researching, like, did this actually happen? When did this happen? And a lot of it did happen. And I'm like, wait, this is crazy. And of course, a lot of it, they just kind of dramatize it for TV, but
Hmm.
it's just insane.
Yeah. You know what pisses me off the most, I think, from The Crown? I mean,
What?
she's not alive anymore, so I can talk about it. I don't know how I would feel if like she was still here. Um, just the fact that like she didn't let her sister marry the guy that was divorced because
It's,
he was divorced, and like
look,
let's go a few generations afterwards, sis. And now
yeah.
your grandson is about to marry a black woman at that, who is a
Mm-hmm.
divorcee, and you
Mm-hmm.
just let it slide. But your sister way back when couldn't. Like, and you see the downstream effect of her not being able to be with the man that she loves, like the mental toll that it takes on her, just her outlook on life, just like
Yeah.
even like men, period, to her are just kind of like not it. It's just like uh, that all could have been
Yeah.
avoided.
And it's honestly, it's not even like, this is not even a spoiler because you can Google this stuff,
Yeah,
but like, not just not letting her sister marry that man, but then you let your son marry his mistress after he like publicly humiliated his wife, but you're okay with them getting a divorce and him getting remarried to that, to
yeah,
that woman.
yeah,
Like, and I know that when that happened, like the influence that his or her sister said to her was like, do not do the same mistake you did to me. Basically, it was like, just let them get married. Like they honestly, Charles and whatever Camilla, they
Camilla.
should have got married. They should have got married in the beginning.
Yeah.
They like he wanted to be with her since day one.
Hmm.
So all of that could have been avoided if they just got married in the beginning.
Yeah. No, I agree with you because like they loved each other. beforehand,
Yeah.
but it was because of a reputation and a stature and how
Mhm.
people view their institution that they made those decisions that ended up backfiring. So, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's tough. I really enjoy The Crown. I like watching things that are historical. So, for example,
Mhm.
like Outlander, I it's very triggering. Like it's no, like I'm being honest. Like
Yeah.
season 1, the last few episodes, I do not recommend that anybody watch. Like it's really traumatizing.
What
And
is it about?
so it's about this woman that goes back in time. She's from the 40s. She goes back in time to Scotland. And so it's like during that phase where Scotland wanted to be independent from the crown, like from Britain. And so it's like the
Mhm.
English fighting the Scottish. And like, I'm not going to tell you what happens, but it's a really beautiful story. And then it ends up like like they end up coming to the US and everything. But um, it's just like the last few episodes, it's just very traumatizing and triggering. But the story in and of itself is very similar to what you see in history. So it's like, it's pretty good. Um, so I really enjoy watching anything that's like historical, like that, or I don't know if you can hear Mia. Sorry about that. I like watching that. I also like watching. I forgot. It just poof went away. But yeah, anything that's
I,
historical.
I'm so I have this weird obsession with watching documentaries. So like I will watch a lot of documentaries. I'm not going to name the one that I've been watching because I don't want them to like look for me cuz or whatever, but the other documentary that I like watching is just like I don't know, real life stuff. Like I watched one about like people that have like wrongly been accused and went to prison for like 20 some years, and they finally got exonerated after like DNA evidence was like became like a thing. And then they found that their DNA didn't match the crime, and they ended up getting out of prison, but they were in prison for like 10, 15, 20 years. And it's just crazy. Like I just like watching stuff like that, like learning about like what just goes on in this world, and
Hmm.
learning about people's journeys and stuff like that, and I just find that so enticing, um
Yeah,
but also sad at the same time.
it is. It is really sad to. I can't imagine what it must be like to be taken into custody because you're being accused of something that you did not do, and
Hmm.
the system is kind of not rigged against you, but it's like also not for you in a way. Like it's just
Yeah,
complicated. Yeah. I I haven't watched that yet, but I like watching documentaries that are related to money. I think I have a
that
problem.
too. Oh my gosh, did you ever what's that movie called? It was this like German girl that basically conned,
Oh,
like,
Inventing Anna.
Inventing Anna. Did you watch that?
Yeah. Do you accept wire transfers? I could pay. I could pay. Bro, SNL did an episode. It was so funny. I'm going to send it to you. I don't know if you saw it, but the girl imitated her so well. She was like, "You don't have food ordered. You're so broke ass." I was like, "Oh my God, this is so
I was saying that for an entire week, just walking around the house. You're a broke ass. You're a broke ass.
funny." I couldn't. I was like, "This is so funny."
Oh, it was that that movie was great. And like I thought it was hilarious. A lot of people got mad at Anne and they were like, I can't believe she would do that. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, I can't believe that she would do that. Like, y'all literally let this like 25-year-old con you out of almost getting thousands, hundreds of thousands
Millions.
of dollars. This is millions. Yeah, like this is not even like $2,000. Like she almost got a whole loan for a whole building for her like art whatever
Hmm.
speaksy thing that she was trying to do. And I was like, she really caught y'all really let this little girl con you.
Right? No, the fact that she went to is it Bergdorf? I don't know how to say that store. I'm not fancy, y'all. It's Target for me. Anyways, um, she went to the store. It was like, oh, put it on sis's credit card or her tab. I was like, I couldn't mentally feel well if I did that. Like, I don't, there's an ethical and moral line that you don't cross. And that's one.
Stealing a private jet, a whole private jet, talking about oh, the payment didn't go through, ma'am. Calling them, oh, she's good. Just let her on the plane. Like, what?
Yes. Yes. Or staying on someone's yacht for a few weeks because, like it's insane. And like
And it's,
people
and
actually
it's like
believe
these
it.
people they let her do it. And it's like, her argument was like, I technically didn't steal anything. Like, they could have said no.
Mm-hmm.
They let her on, whatever thing. And it's like, I feel, in my opinion, I feel like they were kind of like using her in a sense because like she had all these connections. So they were like, let's be on her good side so we could have like all these connections as well. And I think
That's
they just had their
crazy.
ego hurt. Like their egos got bruised. So they were like, oh no, I'm not letting this like poor girl like con me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. It's
Yeah.
like you guys were using her because she had all these connections to all these people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's insane. Like, she's out of prison, right?
I did not know that because the
She's
last time
out.
I looked her up, she was in a like ICE detention center.
Oh no, she got out. She got deported. And I think she's out now. Like out.
That's awesome. I hope she's not gonna. I hope she's not gonna con anyone now. But
Oh man.
I'm glad she's not in the detention center anymore. Like that's not a fun place to be.
Yeah, but it's gonna be hard to change her ways though. If you've been doing something for so long and to stop doing it, like it's a little tough.
Scheming.
Yo. And all
Oh my
these rappers
gosh.
are talking about scamming. They should have learned from Anna. Stop it. I can't. I can't. Oh my goodness. But I know you said that you like competition shows. Um, do you like watching like competition shows that aren't related to food?
I haven't watched one in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I used to watch what is it, Runway, but that was
Project
like
Runway.
Project One Runway. I used to watch that, but like that was years back where like I could not tell you who was on the show, like what they were doing, but majority of the competitions I watch is food related.
I can't. It gets me too hungry, especially if I'm watching it late at night. I can't. There was a day that we were watching. It was like something like the final table or something on Netflix, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
they pair you up, and there's like maybe 15 or 16 teams, and each week is like a country. Girl, when they got to Brazil, they had feijoada, which is like black beans, rice, like some um, sliced oranges, lots of
Mm-hmm.
meats, like
That sounds good.
collard greens. Oh, I was like, I was pregnant. My mouth was watering. It was 10 p.m. I was like, where am I going to get some feijoada? I can't be watching that stuff. I really can't. But there was one competition that I think you would like. It's on Netflix. It's called Interior Design Masters. And
Ooh, I actually have that on my list.
okay, you should watch it. It's really good.
Yeah.
No, 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 because it's on the perspective that's not the US, it's
Mhm.
European. So like the way
Oh,
that the room sizes are completely different than ours. The way that
yeah.
like they even um design is vastly different. So it's just like you would love it and you would get so many ideas.
Yeah, no, it's funny because I actually do have that on my list. I'm just really bad at watching the shows I put on my list.
Yeah.
But I will watch that tonight. I will. I promise you I'll watch it and then I'll let you know how I like the show.
Yeah.
Um and that kind of goes back to like what we were talking about with IKEA and how like um the things of how they decorate is very vastly different than how like things in the US are because IKEA is, I think they're a Swedish company.
Mhm.
So they're more of like that Scandinavian look where it's like minimal, it's like not a lot of colors, not a lot of things in the room.
Yeah.
And I definitely feel like I kind of gear towards that like Scandinavian kind of design
Mhm.
because less is more. And I have the worst representation in my office because I have like color
It's
all over
fine.
the place. But but like even though I have like a feature wall here, like the rest of the room is pretty like just bare and
Yeah.
white.
No, but I like that color. You know why? Because it's a very calming color. It's like a
Hmm.
Terra sort of a vibe, so it's really nice. I like it.
Hmm.
Keep it. Don't worry
Yeah,
about that.
it's a terracotta. I absolutely love. This is actually one of the my favorite feature walls that I've done in this house.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You should feel so proud of yourself, Judith. I'm like shocked of all of the accomplishments you've done. Like you should really feel incredibly proud of yourself. And I think we're gonna close for today's episode. I mean, this has been amazing. Like I love if I could, we would be here for hours. But I know like you have things to do, and my kids are screaming already. Like
Yeah.
my little one just went to go get her diaper changed, and I know she's gonna be screaming in a little bit. But
Yeah.
I wanted to thank you for joining me today because, again, phenomenal woman that you are. Your
Thank
story,
you.
how you're influencing people to think differently about design, how to think differently about life, how to plan a wedding, which is so hard. I had 5 months. I almost like chopped my head off. Um, and I extremely admire you. So you're welcome to come back anytime, and we need to do an episode with Jessica here, all three of us together.
Yeah. No, I'm always open whenever you need someone to like just talk to you because I know in podcasts like it's easy to have someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Um just invite me and I can sit here and just talk all day. I
I'm
really
down.
can.
I'm down. I'm down. I'm down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add your link into our show notes, and then to your site, and then I'll also add it to our site too, so that everybody can see it.
Yeah, definitely. That would be lovely.
So everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. Judith, thank you so much, and stay tuned for the next episode. And keep an eye out for our Instagram post with links to Judith's YouTube account so that you can see all her new content and get inspired to think differently about your living spaces.